Welcome to How to Paint a Faux Brick Wall. There are many types of brick and brick walls, and all of them can be recreated by a faux finish artist. In this video, we will be creating a very loose gestural version of an old brick wall with multiple colors. The wall you see here was created for a restaurant in Brattleboro, Vermont that wanted an artistic, funky version of old weathered material. Whenever you're going to recreate a given material, research is your best friend. These days, it's so easy to go on the internet and do an image search to get a feel for the direction you want to pursue. Here's an old brick wall with courses in full and half brick alternating. Note the variety of color. And here's a more typical old weathered brick. The restaurant also considered a very dark brick, but found it too moody and forbidding. New brick is also always a possibility, but tends to lack personality. The brick we chose has a lot of color and dynamic and a very light mortar. Here at Artscapes, we've done a variety of brick, including this sooty fireplace, where we also did the crackle effect on the mantle and fireplace itself. We also did this rather abstract function room with brick and plaster effect and some sculptural elements and lettering. For this project, the bricks were created with felt and then applied on a plywood construction and painted with a roller. You can use Homosoap, Vacuform, or many textural materials to create brick. For this demo, we will use a wall that was already existent in the restaurant but had been painted white. Initially, the owners were planning to sandblast the wall, but we were able to avoid the huge mess and a good deal of expense by just using paint. In the end, the product was far more original and exciting than a sandblasted finish. When painting faux brick, the first step is almost always the mortar. Sometimes this process begins with an overall gray base coat in the mortar areas, but in this case, as the final brick contains a good deal of white, I elected to leave the existent white background and simply spatter in with a gray and ochre glaze. This provided lots of texture and movement and a good deal of the desired abstraction. Obviously, this can only be done prior to flooring or with careful protection of the existing floor. Here, I begin to use opaque paint on the brick, obscuring the mortar glaze in these areas. I begin with the darkest color, working into the texture of the surface. Then, when applying subsequent layers, I can go a bit more lightly with the roller or brush, creating greater depth. I continue to work, selecting out areas to keep light, creating movement within the composition. Already, the mortar and brick are separating, and the roller, my choice of applicator for this project, is leaving some dynamic marks. You can use either a 2.5-inch roller or a standard 9-inch roller, or move back and forth between the two, getting different levels of control. Here is the wall after 2 additional layers of increasingly light colors are applied, mid-brown and a rust. The ochre is still from the spattered underpainting for the mortar, but adds some strong visual interest. And here is the wall as we chose to leave it. A dusty rose, similar to the one in our selected research sample, obscured more of the mortar glaze and added both warmth and energy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check us out for more ideas on the web at artscapesdesign.com.